This District 105.
105.
Right, right.
It runs from Conway to up through Green Sea, Floyd's, almost, it runs to the North Carolina line. Then it sweeps back round to the Grand Dunes. That's in my area.
You're kidding?
Yes.
That rural area of the Grand Dunes.
Rural area of the Grand Dunes. And that's a big agricultural area. Now, agriculture's changed a lot now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, tobacco was king in this state for years and years. And now it's taken a back seat to some of the other crops. But anyway, when you work with rural people, you're working with the grassroots level. It's a group of wonderful people in this county.
And you still travel around your district,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure, all the time. You have to.
I get out and meet them, and matter of fact, a few weeks ago I was in the Lower's Christmas parade.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Big celebration there,
yeah.
and they have been doing that year after year.
Year after
much
year.
Like, and of course, there's a lot of interaction with the other House members within the county. Obviously, Nice is a great example of that, a public-private mix there, supporting that. And of course, with, as you said, Yancey McGill and Senator Leatherman, folks without the PD. I mean, or within the PD, we've really got all worked together.
Well, you see, NISA was organized just 9 counties,
Right.
and it runs from Chesterfield, Marlboro, Dillon, O'Ree, Florence, Georgetown. I may have left someone out, but anyway, it's not to take the place of the County Development Board.
No, sure.
And if you go on the net, go to SouthCarolinaBusinessCorner.com, you can pull up anything on the net involving these counties. And you can punch O'Ree County if you want to see what buildings are available in the county.
Right.
You can see what buildings are available for industry. Matter of fact, we got videotapes inside the building.
Is that right? Yeah.
And folks in Japan, when we were visiting with them, they were astonished.
Pull it up online and look at everything. Yeah.
And now they can see what we got available, because most of the industry in the state is upstate. It's from Sumter, particularly up around Greenville, Spartanburg, and Anderson.
We are working to change that, though, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
We want some high-paying jobs down
That's
there.
right. We need to talk about I-73, but even if we didn't have I-73, I mean, surely we're setting the stage now to make things happen.
So what we can do here, we can get an industry, and then Hugh Owens, who is our county development person, then he takes there and puts the cake on the icing.
From the inbred group, absolutely.
It's not to take his place, it's to help him and enhance what he's doing, what we're trying to do.
Golly, Billy, of course, a lot of folks, and I'm glad you pointed that out, within the 9 counties, you are interfacing very well with the 9 directors of business development. It's very important to highlight that, particularly right after Christmas, as folks are thinking the new year's upon us. We got to get ready. I-73, obviously a lot of folks talk about DHEC recently, a lot of things going on with DHEC, but let's focus a little bit on the regional airport and on I-73, and I think recently there's an alligator bill that's moving forward.
Well, on I-73, the right-of-way now is pretty well established. Well, it is established from 95 to 22. We've had some problems coming across the river joining Marion County, and the right-of-way will be right beside of 917. And this is coming through Heritage Trust property, which DNR, say we own that property, but really they don't own it. You own it as a taxpayer, and I keep telling my friend in Columbia that you're just custodian of that land. You don't own it. And, we joke around a lot, but anyway, this has been some very expensive land. According to the map I got from DOT, it involves 27.2 an acre. And it's settled now, but I'm going to mention it anyway. DOT offered DNR, Department of Natural Resources, $450,000 for it. They wouldn't accept it, the conservationists. So I understand that the governor had both of them in his office, and they settled for $750,000. And see, we could have put a lot of asphalt on the ground for that much money. And my problem with this particular issue is the taxpayers are paying for that property twice.
That's right.
Because they get a lot of their money from document stamps. And when you buy a piece of property, real estate, and you understand that, you pay document stamps, and they get a certain percentage of it to buy property to preserve it.
Right.
And a lot of this property buying, which I have no objections to, it can't be developed anyway. It's wetland.
Right.
And so that's been a big problem with me and most of the ORE delegation. But hopefully that's settled now, and now we need his funds to buy that right-of-way.
Right,
so
absolutely.
That's going to be a while, but that right-of-way is pretty well established now from 95 to 22.
That is true. And I-73 is for real. It's going to happen.
I think it'll happen in my lifetime. It don't happen tomorrow, but we got to get some more funds, and we're working with our delegation in Washington to help the federal funds.
Yes.
And we will be tolling I-73.
I-73. Do you have to work with the delegations in the other states along the corridor?
Oh yeah. Brad Dean is the I-95
sure.
I-73 manager of this, and I think recently just had a meeting with other states, so it's beginning to fall in place.
And it is difficult, you having lived in Dillon County for as long as you did, not to think about I-95, because surely that is a...
That happened while I was there.
Oh, is that right? While you were there? Yeah. You think about, what is the guy south of the border who obviously had a little bit of impact on...
Just move it over a little bit.
Yeah, just a teensy bit, how that impacted things. Regional airports, another big thing that will have to happen.
Well, we have gotten a study underway now, and we're trying to look out 20 to 25 years.
Right.
And the way our Myrtle Beach airport's expanding, not expanding, but growing with people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can't handle it.
Right.
And we looking out 20 to 25 years, and this airport may not even be located in Horry County. I suspect it'll be in the edge of Marion County. But if we wait 20 years and then start it, what land value is going to be then?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're looking at now.
There won't be any. That's right. And there may be other TV towers. You know, I bought some land, about 15 acres from a farm, from Oscar McKenzie, someone you may know in Marion County years ago, to build a tall tower, 1,530-foot tower right between Mullins and Nichols. Well, today that wouldn't be able to go up with I-73 coming in with the potential of a regional airport. Had I not built it 10 years ago, I would have had that opportunity. So there could be another TV tower built right in the middle of it if we don't go ahead and get moving on it
now. The way we're growing, we don't know what we'll be like 20 years from now.
That's a very good point.
But anyway, this study is underway, and I don't know what will happen. You have to go through these procedures to see what it's going to be, and I certainly support it.
We talked about briefly off camera before we started about the alligator bill that's pushing through. Share with viewers what has prompted that and what's gotten that rolling. We just got a couple of minutes.
Well, we don't really have an alligator problem here in Horry County. Now, I'm a fisherman, and I see them occasionally on Little Petey River.
Right.
But down in Clarendon County, on Lake Moultrie and Lake Marion, and down in Dorchester County and Charleston, these folks have a real problem. Now, last year the Senate passed the alligator bill and sent it over to the House, and some of my members of the Wildlife Committee says we need to hold that up and let us work on it a little bit more. You see, our system is slow, but it works. It gives everybody an opportunity to express their feelings, and that's called democracy, and I support that. And on this alligator bill, we had a gentleman, I'm going to mention this, that got his arm bit off down at, I believe it was on Lake Moultrie.
Right.
And the paper reported it, and I saw some gruesome pictures of that. And anyway, they cut the alligator open and got his arm, and they couldn't put it back on. It was too late. But this guy was in the water with a sign up saying, "Do not beware of alligators," because it was where they clean fish and throw the waste over in the water. So well, the alligator was feeding.
Sure, all the time.
And so, you know, that's
not to take anything away from the man who lost an arm, but surely, I mean, if there's signs there, there's signs there.
I was down there a few weeks ago, and the fishing guides were telling me that. So anyway, we need a bill to reduce some of the alligator population, and that's what we're working on. And there's a little bit of difference between on private property and on public property. DNR says we need to use a harpoon and pull the gator over to us and then shoot him with a pistol no larger than .22 caliber. You know, I just got the bill on my email the other day, 22 pages, and that's a large bill. So we'll take a look at it, and there'll be some changes made in that. But I don't want anyone hurt trying to harvest an alligator, and that's what I'm trying to protect. So we'll study that over, and we'll have some hearings on it.
Billy, do you still have family here in the area?
No, my family, I have a sister that lives in Florence County, and my one son in Charlotte, one in Kingstree, and one in Iowa.
Is that right? One son in Charlotte, one in Williamsburg County, and one in Iowa. So only one right around here.
That's right.
Of course, you also mentioned, I think Donald had mentioned, that you and your wife both travel up to the session there, which is wonderful to be able to spend that
We
time.
leave every Tuesday morning about 7:15.
Wow.
138 miles to the State House.
You know it. We've heard that story about almost being able to do it with eyes closed. Yep. That's not something you do, I'm sure.
That's right.
But it is that easy. It's
right.
It's that perfect a shot.
We know exactly what time. We try to leave before school buses get on the road too much.
Right.
You know.
This January, next month, it will be 15 years continuous. Is that right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal.
One more year in this term.
Wow.
For 16 years. Yeah.
That's a big deal. Well, you think about so much that has to happen, representing the people, and our producer had laid it out that you were. I mean, the focus is representing the people, and
you want to do what's right for the people, and in our system we give everybody an opportunity to have their say, and that's important, Right. And everybody has different opinions. Mm-hmm. That's what makes our system so great in America.
We talked recently, we were with Chairman Gillen filming down in Merle's Inland and hearing her talk about that public input, which is so important. And everything you all do, whether it's on your committees or just in the House, there is public input.
Public input.
It is an open system.
I think the longest hearing we've had was about 7 hours. And we won't let that happen again.
Not while you're chairman.
I like to talk, but we'll have to live in it and have a group. Have one person represent them.
Right.
And I've had as many as over 100 people in the audience wanting to testify, and that's just, you can't do that. But we give people the opportunity to express their views on it.
Right. Those are great words. Billy, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Good to be here. And congratulations on you. I called you Man of the Year, and you said Citizen. I'm going to call you the Man of the Year.
I'll take Man of the Year, but you were Man of the Year here at the Conway Area Chamber of Commerce, aside from being Alumni of the Year at Clemson, and probably quite a few other big honors that I should have highlighted during the interview. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Chairman and Representative Billy Witherspoon of the South Carolina House of Representatives District 105 coming up next. You heard him talk about the joy of being able on Christmas Day to get down with his wife and his 3 children and 8 grandchildren down there, going down to the beach to relax and enjoy a beautiful Christmas day. We think about how that's happened, how Horry County has grown, how the Grand Strand has grown. It's grown because over the years it's ridden on the backs of agriculture. It's ridden and grown on the backs of agriculture. You hear him still talking about the Grand Dunes area as agriculture. This entire area, this gigantic county, geographically the largest county in the state, agriculture has been king forever. It still has a dramatic role in our lives, and what a blessing to have the chairman of the Agricultural Committee and Environmental, Natural Resources and Environmental Affairs, but the commitment coming out of this area and service for this long and making a difference in this county. Don't forget our roots when you're out celebrating, whether it's a few days ago on Christmas or New Year's Eve when you're out celebrating in a beach house, that all this is here thanks to the growth of agriculture in this area for many, many years. Representative Billy Witherspoon.